Why are you so obsessed with me? Just kidding. I just felt like divining some Regina George there for a second. It's 26 weeks. Yep, it's 26 weeks. I'm 26 weeks pregnant. It's been 24 weeks since I got pregnant. What more can I say? So, I'm just gonna move around here a lot. So last week, in my 25-week bump date, I talked about how pretty much there was nothing going on, like at all. And I think I was just setting myself up for like actual pregnancy symptoms, which is cool, you know, because I don't know, I'm pregnant and the baby's like pretty big, so I figured they're coming. So last week I didn't really have any symptoms to speak of, and then this week, yeah, that's not the case. So 26 weeks was actually not too bad though. It was less symptomless than 25 weeks. I think part of that is the baby's getting a lot bigger, so my bump is bigger. One of those symptoms has definitely been backache. Yeah, I was kind of getting this last week, but now I get it pretty much every day, especially if I'm standing up for long periods of time. And I have to like bend over and like pull on stuff like really hard, and it looks super cool. My lower back feels really tight and it just needs to be like stretched out. That seems like an obvious symptom of the bump being larger. My bump's larger, so it's pulled forward. So my back sways, my center of gravity is different and whatever, and then I have backache. It makes sense. But I've also noticed that I have more of an upper backache where I wanna like do this all the time. I don't know. There's a few poses in yoga, like heart openers, that feel really, really good. So I do those as much as possible. So I don't really know why that's happening. I guess it has something to do with, like, I'm doing this, hinging over, I guess. I have to keep checking myself on the screen to make sure I don't look unacceptably crazy. Right now I just look acceptably crazy. That was definitely a symptom, is that backache. And then in line with that, I was having like all sorts of like aches and stuff going on in my bump this week. A lot of round ligament pain, which to me, I mean, sometimes you have round ligament pain and it's sharp. It's like a sharp pulling, especially when you have a jolted movement or whatever. But lately, I think that my bump has just been growing so much that the round ligaments are stretching pretty consistently. I'm getting what feels like period cramps. It's so weird, and they're really, really low. And for a while, I kind of freaked out about that, but that is just apparently round ligaments, and the baby's growing, and you know, those ligaments have never stretched before, so they're stretching now, and it feels like my period's coming. Which I don't think it is, like anytime soon. So beyond that, I kind of just have some like aches and pains in there. Especially when we're walking, I'll get kind of like an achy feeling, a little bit low, but not too low, not like the round ligament pain. And I kind of just, I don't know. I kind of got this from spinning babies when I use my belly as a hammock for the baby. Whatever that means. So I lean forward, like I let him fall into my bump like a hammock with gravity, I don't know, but it tends to make that feel better. So using gravity is a huge part of spinning babies anyway, and I guess it makes sense. Just kind of go with it. So last bump related thing is I've been definitely getting Braxton Hicks, but I can't really feel them. So I just feel my bump get really tight. Super weird. It's like we'll be walking and my bump will get like super hard. So strange. I'm not really feeling it, you know, which is cool. You know, I don't feel any pain or any like tightness or anything. I just feel that my bump is really hard. But I've been having those. I almost always have one when we go for a walk at night with my husband, and I'm pretty happy about that. I mean, I feel like, you know, I mean, birth is physically intensive, so gotta train for it, you know. My uterus is training, and that's great. So this week I've also been pretty consistently drinking red raspberry leaf tea. I actually made a blend of red raspberry leaf, nettle leaf, and rose hips, which I'm gonna post the recipe on my new blog, which will be a take off of my food blog, but family and like pregnancy and like that kind of stuff related. So I'll put the tea recipe there, but I've been drinking that tea every day, and what red raspberry leaf does is it tones your uterus, and I don't know if there's a whole lot of like actual evidence that it really does anything for you in labor, except there's a million stories online of women saying, you know, I drank this every day and my contractions were very strong, but my labor was shorter because the uterus is getting more done each time it has a pressure wave, which is what we say in hypno babies. We don't say the C word. But I feel like super weird if I'm just talking to like a random person and I'm just like, well, during my birthing time, I think that the way I'm gonna deal with my pressure waves is like, and they're like, what? So anyway, I feel like the tea is working. Like I'm feeling my uterus obviously training for birth, but I'm not really feeling it. So that's good. And I feel like it's stretching and like strengthening and good. Go birthing bag of muscles. So we had a meeting with our doula this week and she's kind of like, we kind of just stared at each other for a while because we're weirdly prepared. I researched everything a lot and she's kind of like, well, okay, that's cool. You're ready, I guess. Obviously not ready, but somewhat prepared. She was really happy to hear that we are doing hypno babies. She's a huge fan of that. And she was like, it's not just propaganda, man, like it works. So I was really excited to hear that. And having someone else who's professional supporting us, who really knows hypno babies and understands it, I think will be very helpful. So I'm excited about that. We had some extra time in my appointment, so we went and she like did, I don't know, baby mapping or whatever, and like found what position he's in, because I had been feeling these like bladder pokes. I don't know, they were like not like a kick to my bladder and like my cervix. It was more like a small poke. And I mentioned it to some of the girls that I'm in a group with on the forums, and they said that they started feeling that when the baby was head down. But I felt like, I don't know, like I feel so many weird movements that I felt like that's not possible. Like he's gotta be transverse is what I was thinking, because I feel on both sides. And I guess I don't think he's doing this as possible. So my doula said that he is indeed head down, and I think he's face down too, which is awesome that he likes that position, I guess. I mean, I don't think he's there like just chilling because he doesn't feel comfortable there, so I hope that he stays. I mean, I know he's still small and he can flip around and whatever, but I haven't really felt a lot of that, like a lot of those like big, like wavy movements. Mostly I feel like he will kick me strong enough now where my whole belly will jiggle. He's head down, and I think he flipped like early in 25 weeks because that's when I started feeling the like pokey stuff. So he's been doing that ever since. He will sometimes get in that position, I think, and I can feel it when he's not awake. He's not really being active or anything. He's not kicking around and like doing his little like playground antics or whatever he's doing, but it's more like he's asleep and is doing like this, stretching it, and he's just poking me in the bladder, and it's stellar. So whenever he kind of gets into a pokey mood, if I sit on my birthing ball, I don't know if he's just more comfortable that way or something, but it totally goes away. Like I don't feel that kind of like uncomfortable, like I don't know, positioning anymore. So I love my birthing ball, and I actually had to get the bigger size because the smaller one, like I definitely couldn't use it at my desk, but my knees were a little bit over my hips, which is not the right posture. Oh, this is really fun. This is like the best part of the whole bump date. I'm pretty sure that I felt hiccups for the first time on like 26 weeks and maybe like 5 days or something. It felt kind of like a little punch, but it was like very, very small. And it was rhythmic. It was like punch, 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 like that. As much as I would like to think that the baby's gotten his rhythm from his mama, because he definitely didn't get it from his daddy, I don't think that's what it is. And it was like right in the middle of my belly, little hiccups, I guess. That's what I think that there's gonna feel like, I don't know. But anyway, so I was feeling those, and then I would feel him like punch with his hand, like actually punch with his hand. I think he was like feeling them and fighting them. I don't really like having hiccups, and I guess my little man doesn't either. So cute. That was pretty exciting. I had been looking forward to having baby hiccups for a long time, and I had no idea how to tell what it was or when I should start feeling it, but I think that they started. Oh, and it was our very first Father's Day, so that was pretty exciting. I was looking forward to that for like weeks because they planned this huge surprise. So my husband has been wanting this Weber grill for at least a year, I guess, since we built our deck like a year ago. But like, we're having a baby, I was kind of like, let's not spend money frivolously. Like, okay. But what I was really planning was to buy it for him as a surprise. Totally went overboard. But it was my first Father's Day too that I got to celebrate, you know, for like my father of my child. So we got him the grill and it was a big surprise. And my parents came over. I had ordered the grill to their house and they came over with it and they were like, we need help setting something up, and he went out there and saw it and whatever. And then I made a bunch of food and we grilled steaks and blah blah blah, and he had no idea that they were coming over for dinner and stuff, so that was really fun and I think he's really excited. I hope he was excited because it was a lot of work. Oh my god, I've been talking for 20 minutes. Holy I've gained at the end of 26 weeks 10.5 pounds, and here's where it's all going. See you next week, you little buggers.